All right, good morning. Let's get rolling. Let's make sure we're walking out of here 55, 60 minutes better than we walked in. We've got a lot of good things to go through today. Continue to make things better and continue to make sure we can compete and do great things out there together with our clients. So a lot of good things to go. First, as I know you guys got trained on, but our brokers do not know about Home Possible, Home Ready changes. So we got some really great changes. First off, Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac made some changes, which are not as great, where you got to be to get the VLIP credit, you got to have a first-time home buyer now going forward. So you actually can't just be VLIP, which is very low income, going to understand that client. But besides that, those numbers have went up, so there's more clients that fit it. But what we did is we made a change. What I found is, from a broker of ours, so thank you for emailing me after the videos and watching these, was that a lot of our competitors have done a lot of different things to make their pricing look much better on Home Possible, Home Ready. One of them is they take the money that Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae give them and put it into the pricing rather than on the CD. So we've made that change as well. So therefore, a $200,000 loan just got 125 basis points better with VLIP, because you can actually take that money that Fannie and Freddie are giving you and make it into pricing. So it's now apples to apples. Also, I've looked at our pricing. Our pricing is pretty sharp on Home Possible, Home Ready. We made it even a little bit sharper, but in general, like Home Possible, Home Ready, that's where a lot of purchases are going to be. And it's not just very low income borrowers, or it's all Home Possible, Home Ready. So if you even saw, and which we'll talk about a little bit later, that you can now get appraisal waivers up to 97% with the ACE plus PDR, like some of the different nuances. But Home Possible, Home Ready. So I guess the takeaway here is understand the nuances. One, make sure you fill out the AMI information and first-time home buyer. And then look at the pricing. The pricing should be really sharp across the board. All these loans should be coming to UWM. Like I said, other places we're just taking money and moving it around. Now we're doing the same thing, and our pricing should be better than everybody else, just like it is on a lot of other programs. So you still get your 60 for 60 on these. You still do CYP, but Home Possible, Home Ready is much sharper, and you're getting the VLIP credit on the actual pricing rather than on a credit on the CD at the end. So that change is live. You lock after day, obviously depending on disclosures. If they talk to your AE about the import date, if you've already imported a loan and disclosed it, then it might have to be the old way, because we got to make sure we honor everything we told the borrower. But going forward, this will be a better way to do Home Possible, Home Ready. So that's out. That's today. Second thing is Success Track. So first off, got almost 500 people. Let me get my Success Track people to stand up. Let's give them a loud round of applause. Thank you for coming out here. I appreciate you guys coming here. Thank you for being here. I know we got thousands watching, but coming out here, and as you guys know, it's beautiful and snowy here in Michigan today. But you're out here getting better. And there's a lot of classes, and a lot of the classes are filled up almost through March now. So check on the classes, see if there's an opportunity for you to come. But I'm telling you, everyone's coming out here because it's not because we got the best training in the world. I think we got great training. But it's because it's the whole experience. Training, meeting other people, networking, getting ideas from other people, being around the culture, the engagement, getting revved up with ideas, going back and executing, building relationships with your AE, your underwriter. There's so many pieces of Success Track that make this where this is filling up every single one. So AEs, if you got LOs that have not been here, shame on you, right? Like shame on you for not getting out here and explaining the benefit. I'd use one of the people that are here or have been here recently and have them send an email or a video to some of your clients that have not come, so they know to come out here, because it is the number one way to continue to grow your business, is coming out and learning, not just at Success Track, but anywhere. But this is free training, and it's around other mortgage brokers that care, and it's all aligned with stuff to help you get more business. Actually, I had an email which triggered me to think about it. This was a new guy, and this is like what I think about. One is, like I always say, our training teams are fantastic, and you get a lot of knowledge. You can't leave here without learning stuff. However, you also meet people. And so this email actually was a nice thing from a 21-year-old kid, basically saying, I was out here by myself, long way, but I met some lady, and she, adopted me as part of her team, and we all spent time. I learned things. I networked. I got other people I can reach out to in another state that I can build relationships with. This is what happens. So all these things, he said, he used my line, so that's why he knows so he must know me. There's nothing worse than having resources and not using them. And these are resources. Your people next to you are resources. I always tell people when I'm at Success Track that sometimes it's the girl next to you or the guy next to you that might be the best part of Success Track. Some people become friends. You also build relationships to do business. You can call them and be like, hey, I tried this new lead source. It's been killing it. You should try it. Or, hey, I tried that. That doesn't work that well. I wouldn't do that if I were you. And like building those relationships is sometimes just as valuable as understanding how to use appraisal waivers or understanding how to use track or understanding how to calculate income underwriting-wise. Like all these pieces are part of Success Track. So AEs, everyone should have. This is a 21-year-old kid, but there's also a lot of other people out there. And so that have had these events. It's your first time, or I also have people that have been in the business 30 years, and they learn as well. We all get better together. If I sat in the class, I'd learn. I'd learn from the own training that I built because you learn, you meet people, you hear a different way of saying it. This is how you get better. This is how you invest in yourself. My belief system is 4 times a year I'd be out here, including UWM Live. So I'd make sure I'd schedule it and just schedule it out there. I pay for it. That's how much I believe in it. If you can think about, we have 25 to 30,000 people will be out here this year, and figuring out flights and understanding hotels and logistics, it's probably a couple $1,000s per person. It's almost a $60 to $70 million investment in brokers. And I believe in it that much. We could just not do it and just not do it anymore and just tell them to watch the video. I believe it helps people that much. I really believe in it. It helps catapult people's growth, and that's what we're about. So Success Track, AEs, look at your list of people that have never been here. Look at people that haven't been here in 3 to 6 months. And let's get these, the classes are filled, but start filling up April, May, and June and start getting UWM Live set up and all those things. Quickly, Property Radar. So I got an email from one of our brokers. I'm going to read some of it, but I want to share this with you. Her name's Laura, and she went through and spent some time giving me the feedback. But I have no affiliation with this company. I don't even know who they are. I don't know who runs it. I just know we have a partner perk, and we have a discount with them for you guys. But this woman, in this non-refi boom, right, because rates are higher, is doing refis left and right because of Property Radar. And so I don't like to, like I said, I don't know these people to give them this nice of an endorsement, but it came from a broker, and I'm sharing with you guys. Like the amount of business that she's able to do because of this tool, this resource, is crazy. And it's so easy for everyone to do. And I'm actually going to read a couple of the notes she sent me because she gave me 20 of them. But the best features, obviously we have a discount through UWM, so she mentioned that. But the granulation of filtering allows comprehensive filtering to get most targeted ad spend. There's training that they provide. She goes, it's very important to use their training that they have because it really teaches you how to use it. They have a workflow. You can create different metrics. I'm not going to go through all of it. I guess our sales leaders will give it to the AEs. But all I'll tell you is this. LOs, if you want more business right now, why would we not be looking into this? Right? If you want refinance business right now, right? Because like you're saying, well, there's no refinance business, Matt. Rates are 7%, 6.99, 6.875, 7 1/8. Right? Okay. You know how many loans that when you filter it out, like we went through the thing, and you filter out in Oakland County, Michigan, which is just where the small county that we live here, right? You filter it out and say, I want borrowers that have had a house for more than a year and have a rate over 7.5% and have at least 10% equity. You filter it out. There's like 3,900 borrowers, and it gives you in Oakland County. That's just my little county here, right? 3,900 borrowers, right? So it's like, well, what about your county? Can you find 3? Like they're all there, and it's like it gives you their information. You can communicate with them. So, anyways, I don't really know Property Radar, and there's probably other great resources. I'm sure LOs will email me a great resource, and I'm fine with that because I'll share it because I don't care who you use. I just care that you get business. And you have to have that mindset that there's opportunity out there. You got to go and find it and make it happen. Of course, purchases are robust right now, but I'd still say you should be doing refinance business, and it's out there right now, even at rates where they're at, and I believe rates will come back down. But right now, Property Radar still has an opportunity right there for you. Quickly, appraisal waivers. So this changed. I know Melinda talked about it. I want to make sure everyone hits it. You can get appraisal waivers on purchases and refinances up to 90 LTV now, okay? Purchase and refis. And then you can get the hybrid, I call them hybrid appraisals, up to 97, which is like where you don't actually, the value's locked in. All you got to do is get a data inspection report. This changed. Now, this changed with Fannie Mae now. Freddie Mac, to be fair, isn't until the end of February. But this is a big deal, right? Like, if you see an appraisal waiver, or back to, we talked about track light, you see a title waiver, you have to take advantage of it, but you have to know that you have them. So understand how these things work. This is happening a lot more now. Appraisal waivers will continue to grow. I think with new FHFA leadership, I think there's going to be a lot more appraisal waivers, title waivers, all these things which will lower costs for consumers. But, big but here, but if you don't know about it and understand it, you never use it. right? You know how many loans that we get where they don't use the ACE plus PDR, which is property data report or whatever, which is basically like an ACE, but not really an ACE, which is a appraisal labor. You just spend $200 and get a data report, but the values don't change. Why would you go spend $600, get an appraisal coming in low, or fight with an appraisal on different things? You don't have to do any of that stuff. We save it faster, easier, cheaper, but you can't do it if you don't understand it. So AEs, you have to understand it. You have to look at it. LOs, you have to look at it, but you have to know about these things to take advantage of it. And taking advantage of another one, let me give you another one, virtual 1004Ds. So we're doing a bunch of these. Like the old days of actually someone going out there isn't really happening anymore. Now, I mean, and obviously the LA wildfires, which obviously is horrible, and hopefully if you know anyone out there, you reached out because it's horrible stuff that happened out in California. I know a lot of people. I know people that lost their houses out there. Personally, I know these people. And seeing some of that stuff is scary. And at the same time, you got to think about them. But then on the flip side, on business, I think, well, this is an example because there's a lot of people that are in those areas that weren't affected also, thank goodness. And 1004D's virtual, rather than finally getting an appraiser to go out there to confirm it, is almost impossible to get done right now. So understanding these nuances, once again, virtual 1004D, you can't do it if you don't understand it. So AEs, make sure we have it. There's a lot of different things we have to know, but these are little things and nuances. I think the future of appraisals is virtual. The future of having a guy walk through your house, and scheduling an appointment and doing the whole thing and paying $600 for it, that's 2010. 2030, none of that shit happens anymore. It's just not going to be done anymore. It's going to be virtual. And so are you going to be one of the first ones to adopt, or are you going to be like, I'll wait till 2030 when they make me do it that way? Like, all this stuff's happening. Make sure we're on top of it. Last two things for me, and I'll come back up later. One, I want to hit you on this. The 1.0 temporary rate buy down. So we're doing a lot of these right now, right? Obviously, rates went up. I know people, you had a situation where you told a borrower 6.25% a month ago, and now it's not 7.25%, but we'll call it 7.25% just for fun. And it's like, no, I can still get you 6.25%. Here's how we're going to do it, right? And there's 6.25% for the first year. And then in a year, once again, I expect rates to drop. You'll refinance this client out of that. If you refinance them, right, and they paid for the buy down, if it's rate and term or purchase, and they get the money back, so it's their money, right? If it's paid, if it's paid by the lender, if it's done differently, then they don't get it back. But on refis and most purchases is done by where the buyer is basically paying through it, and they get the money back. So there's really no reason I wouldn't offer the 1.0 buy down. And when you offer a 1.0 buy down and say it's a fixed rate, not an ARM, because people get scared of ARMs, it's a fixed rate, it's a great opportunity. I tell you guys this, I say this to you all the time, when you offer clients, explain clients 1.0 buy downs or these alternatives, they might not pick it because the husband and the wife might fight about it, they end up, but you know what they always do? They pick you, which is all I really care about, is that they use you. Whether they get 7.25% or 6.25%, I don't care what they do. I care that they do the loan with you guys and you grow your business. But if you don't talk about it, and you just sit there and say, oh, what? And I would also be using exact rate with this. I wouldn't be doing 7.25%, 6.25% in my example. I'd be doing 7.24 and 6.24, or that example, or 6.19 and 7.19. That's how I'd be doing it. And then you can basically pay for it that way. And so 1.0 temporary rate buy down is available on rate and terms, but I'm talking purchase right now, and it also protects you from EPOs. People, I know that it's not a topic right now, but as soon as rates drop, people will want to talk about that again. And I love when people complain about it because I can't wait for EPOs because I hate them, but that means rates dropped a lot and we can all take advantage of refis. But that's what's going to happen. This protects you from EPOs. It almost times the refinance in 9, 10, 11, 12 months. Even if rates drop to 6 tomorrow, this borrower closes at 7.25%, 6.25%. Well, hey, I'll refinance them in a year down to 6.30 or fixed and lock them in. And then the last one is over 600 FICO FHA. So we made these changes a month and a half ago. It's still live, right? Which means there are no LLPAs over 600 FICO. So none. So it's gone. So therefore, it's cheaper across the board for our brokers. It's cheaper for the borrowers. And there's no one that can compete in this space with UWM because everyone else has one. They have a half point, a point. Some have a point and a half from 600 to 619, just like we used to. We got rid of them through March 31st. Whether I extend it or not, we'll continue to look at. But right now, it's a huge advantage. So there isn't an FHA loan that you wouldn't be able to take advantage of this. Now, if it's over 720, you get the 60 for 60. If it's below 720 or in these range down to 600, you have a huge advantage on LLPAs. But you don't have the advantage if you don't know about it, if you don't talk about it, if you don't understand these benefits. And so AEs, big job for all of us. Like, it's a new year. There's a lot of things we got to talk about, a lot of things we got to discuss. And I know it's a lot. Like, I could roll out less and we could have less cool stuff, but that won't help you grow. Like, we want to make sure, but if you learn this stuff and talk to our LLs about it, I don't know if the 612 FICO will help Jenny that I talked to today, or if the thing that will help her is the CYP match, or the thing that will help her is the 1.0 buy down. I don't know which one's going to trigger her to help her get more business, but I know if I don't talk about any of them, none of them will, right? And that's our opportunity. Same thing with LOs with real estate agents. Talking about what you have and what you can do different is a differentiator. If you don't talk to them and don't differentiate yourself, I promise you, you get no business. The only way to get business is to talk about these things and have the knowledge to do so. All right, I'll be back up a little bit later. We got more stuff to go through. Next up, 2 clap, Anthony Frederick.
Good stuff, Matt. Good morning. How's everyone feeling today? Good? Excellent, excellent. Hopefully everyone's still fired up and on that euphoric high, the new year, new opportunity, all the wonderful things we have ahead of us here in 2025. One thing that I get the privilege of doing each and every quarter is announcing the AEs that earned senior AE status the quarter before. And just a reminder to everybody out there, to become a senior account executive, 1,750 closings in a career, or 1,250 closings in a season, guys. And it takes a lot of different things to achieve senior account executive status besides the numbers itself. First and foremost, you've got to have the ability to get loans, overcome objections, identify needs and offer solutions. All the things we talk about and train about in sales training, you got to be good at getting the loans if you're going to be able to close the loans. Very, very simple. Number 2, you got to be persistent, right? And you think about how many no's, how many times we get hung up on, how many times people ghost us or send us a voicemail or don't respond to our emails until they finally do, only to tell us no. And then we got to keep fighting and scratching. So you got to be persistent. And then you obviously got to be consistent. Consistent with your effort, consistent with your positive attitude, which is extremely hard to do, especially early on in your career when things are going so quickly and you're not having the production that you want. So I'm just so proud of these individuals that earned it last quarter. What we'll do, we'll meet them. They won't speak. We'll introduce them all at the end. We'll give them a round of applause. I got a nice commemorative coin, and we'll go ahead and do that. So first, 1,939 career closing, senior account executive, Jenna Jones. I guess we're going to clap anyway. I always screw this up every quarter. 1,869 closings, senior account executive Maurizio Amato. 1,839 closings, team leader, senior account executive Gabe Hanby. Oh, big fan club for Gabe there, huh? 1,833 closings, senior account executive Mitch Swazlenko. And 1,794 closing, senior account executive Parker Allen. Hey, congrats. Proud of you, dog. Congrats, Gabe.
Appreciate you. Thanks so much.
Big Mitch.
Thanks, buddy.
Don't go anywhere. Come here, you. Congrats.
Thanks.
Well done.
Appreciate it.
And I'll accept this one on Parker's behalf. Let's give one more round of applause, our 2024 senior account executives. Q4. All right, you can leave. Speaking of 2025, guys, as I said earlier, opportunity everywhere. And one of the biggest opportunities I think we all have is utilizing this great support feature we have here at UWM, our Insights Dashboard. And for those of you who haven't used the Insights Dashboard, it is phenomenal. It gives you the ability to create real-time reports on everything going on with your loan activity here at UWM, whether it be your current pipeline, whether it be old funded loans, guys. It is special. So many data points as well. You got FICO scores, you've got touches, you've got obviously borrower information, you got loan amounts, you got LTVs, you got appraisal waiver or not, you got whether they charge discount points on this one or not. Real estate information on both the buying and the selling side, title company information as well. So I guess what I'm trying to say is we gave you every piece of data points we have on every transaction. So first and foremost, make sure you guys hop in there and create some custom reports to your liking, right? Make it a little bit easier, the things that are important to you. And secondly, and why I brought this one up today, because I think there are 3 plays each and every one of us can run right now in January, and I promise you if we executed on just these 3 plays in January, we will get a loan or we will get a cup of coffee with a real estate agent. So number one play, the closing CD play. Skylar Welch, Main Point Lending, used to do this all the time. What she does, any purchase she closed in 2024, she sends the final CD from the closing package to those consumers. She'll send an email, she'll text it, hey, hope everything's going great in 2025. Just wanted to attach this final CD from your purchase on 123 Easy Street. You may need it for tax purposes. I think discount points are tax deductible. I don't know. I'm not a CPA. They don't know, but it's a great touch point. And then, oh, by the way, when I'm sending you this, one thing you need to do, anyone in the market to, get some cash out or in the market to buy a home, please keep me in mind. Very, very simple play, but very, very effective play. Staying top of mind in any purchase you close in 2024. So that's play number one. Number two, as I mentioned, real estate information, both buying and selling side, guys. What I'm running, second number play on this, I'm creating a port, and I'm either sending a text or an email, or I'm calling, or I'm hitting them with all three. A buying side agent, listing side agent, hey, Anthony at UWM, hey, we closed that 123 Easy Street property in June. First, I just wanted to reach out and say great job serving on that one. Second, I would love to get together for 10 minutes and have a cup of coffee and see if we could talk about ways we can grow our business together in 2025. Simple, easy. And then third and finally, guys, the big one for me, and I don't care if you have 4 loans or you have 4,000 loans, but this is big. I think Mike Delbeck talked about this last week, and we talk about it last year all the time. Credit card debt, all-time high. Never been higher, a world record set in 2024. And guess what happened in December? It went up even more. You think people didn't have a good holiday? Of course they had a good holiday. They just kept charging and charging and charging. And you know what happened last week and this week and even next week, depending on what your billing cycle is? People are starting to get those credit card bills in the mail. And they can't believe how much they spent. They can't believe how much debt they're in. So my third and final play with this one, every single funded loan I did, I don't care. We go back to 2021 in Insights. I am texting a home value estimator. And I'm keeping it very, very simple. Hey, Johnny, it's Anthony over at ABC Mortgage. Congratulations, you've earned $86,000 worth of equity since you bought this home. If for any reason you want to touch it, you want to pay off debt, you want to do some home remodeling, you want to buy an investment property, give me a call. Simple. That's it. No more, no less. Keep it that simple, guys. I promise you, you will get one loan or you will get one cup of coffee with an agent. From there, it's up to you to make sure we sell and do the deal. But bottom line is this, guys, Insights, data is amazing, but if we don't use the data to our advantage, we don't run plays off the data, we might as well just throw it in the shredder because it is nothing. And then finally, guys, for me, it was this weekend, I was going through my notes on my phone. That's where I keep all my meeting topics, my honey-do list, Christmas presents for everybody, everything. And I stumbled across this note from September of 2024. And I remember exactly where it was. We were at the AIM Fuse event. We were at the after party, the UWM after party at the House of Blues in New Orleans. And if you're not a member of AIM, make sure you're joined. A lot of great privileges to doing that as well. But anyway, back to the story. That night, I don't know what it was that night, guys, but it was magical. I don't know if it was the House of Blues venue and it was old school and it was kind of gritty. I don't know if it was the high noons that were flowing like the Mississippi River. I don't know what it was that night, but there was just a certain vibe in the air. And what I realized it wasn't any of that. It was our partners in UWM leadership. It was the most community-filled event I've ever had, the best business conversations I ever had. Everyone was smiling and laughing and dancing. It was great. It was the best event I've been to, I swear to God, and I've been to a lot in 26 years. And I remember leaning over and talking to this guy from Ohio. I only remember he's from Ohio because we had a mutual hate for University of Michigan. You know what I said to this guy? I said, I wish I could bottle up this vibe and sprinkle it, just sprinkle a little bit on every LO and every AE in our family. Because if we had this kind of vibe when we were selling, do you know what we'd do? We'd probably have 50% market share and we'd close 100,000 loans a month at UWM. I'm not joking, guys. It was special. And I guess what I'm trying to say with this one is very, very simple, guys. In sales, oftentimes, especially when things are a little bit tough and the market's a little bit tighter, we tend to squeeze each opportunity, right? We build up these opportunities, whether it be with a consumer, like, if I don't get this loan, my career's over, or I don't nail this presentation, my career's over, right? That's not the way we need to act, guys. And I guess what I'm trying to say with this one, act as if. Now, I'm not suggesting you act as if you've had 6 high noons and you're at the House of Blues every time you're talking to a consumer or a real estate agent. No. But something I used to coach and teach my AEs when I was a team leader in DL, act as if you have 1,000 loans in your pipeline. And this phone call right here, that's 1,001. Versus having 2 loans in your pipeline and that call is 3. Think about the mindset of an individual who has 1,000 loans selling versus someone that has 3 loans selling. Huge, huge difference. Loan officers as well. Act as if you've got 35 active loans in process you're working on getting closed, and that consumer's number 36. Act as if you've got 20 real estate agents delivering you referrals and you're delivering them referrals today. And that big presentation on Thursday, that is number 21, guys. I promise you this, guys. It is all up here. And the other thing about this, whether you're new or AE or LO, like, nobody knows how many loans you got going. They only know the vibes that we send out there, whether an AE, whether an LO, or an agent. And agents act like you're Ryan Serhant, like the most confident, most knowledgeable, most special agent in the world each and every time. So the bottom line is this here in 2025, it's going to be tough, right? We're going to be grinding. We're going to have to fight a lot harder for loans. Act as if, guys, act as if you are the best AE, the best LO, the best agent in America. The sooner we start acting it, the sooner we'll be at least our best, if not the best in America. So that's all I had on that one, guys. And, okay. Speaking of the best, this individual, our next presenter, 2024 Division Leader of the Year. Two clap, Ric Flair, John Hockey. Hey, thanks. I appreciate that, man.
Good morning. How are you guys doing? So I got a U-Snap from Andrew Kuhn. If I could look up the dictionary of top producer, high level, UWM account executive, I think I'd see his face. He is an absolute master of his craft. My favorite thing about him is he's not scared to lead. He speaks up daily in my huddles, helping my AEs, which I'm so thankful for, on running plays, giving his insight. And it's so funny, as Matt just talked about what I wanted to bring to the table today. He's winning with his Florida loan officers right now on purchase buy down. So let's watch the U-Snap, and we'll talk about it after.
Hey everyone, it's Andrew with United Wholesale Mortgage. I got a quick message for you about how my clients are obtaining new business in this market with the temporary rate buy down. Want to go over this with you. It's a great way to help not only clients on their first couple of years in the home have a bit lower payment for unexpected expenses, but it also will help your realtors move some of those homes that maybe they've had a little hard time selling right now with inventory expanding. So with that being said, let me kind of go through a little bit of the details with you on how it works. What you'd see on a temporary rate buy down, my clients are looking at using the 2-1 buy down. Typically, you would start with a note rate in the 6s. That means your actual start rate is going to be in the 4s. And what this does is this is going to save on an average loan about $300,000, $400,000. It's going to save them $400, almost $500 a month on their mortgage payment in that first year. And the great news is if rates do drop, there's always the opportunity to refinance. And if it was using seller concessions, all that leftover money that was not utilized for the remainder of those years is refunded to the client. There's a great opportunity. Give me a call, 800-981-8898, extension 3261.
Round of applause. Right? He does such a good job on the U-Snap. He makes it visual, simple, easy ways to obtain new business as he pushes to his LO army. I wanted to holler at the LOs and the realtors for anybody that isn't using buy downs or is intimidated on concessions or just not an expert in that. That's okay. Let's run towards it today. It's an opportunity because I truly believe buy downs are a win-win-win. Hear me out here. So first, the win is for the seller. They get to sell their home, right? They actually get to hit the target price they're looking for by leveraging seller concessions in the purchase price, right? It's a win for LOs and realtors. You get a paycheck. You get to flip inventory quicker. And right now, who doesn't want to market right now 4.99 rates or low 5 rates right now? I know I do. But the biggest win overall is for that borrower. I'm sorry, but in this scenario of $400K loan amount, you're talking about an extra $500 in their pocket monthly. Think about that, all right? What if I'm renting right now? I get to ease into the payment of a new home, right? What if I need to buy a couch or like a stove? I have extra money to buy and furnish my home now. But the biggest one, in my opinion, is I get to refinance in the next 6 to 18 months. And I never get to see today's rate. And like Matt and Andrew said, if using seller concessions, I get all the unused money right back to me, right? So if it is fuzzy, buy downs are, please call your account executive. We'll make it simple. We'll make it easy for you to add to your arsenal. And we have plenty of options, 3-2-1, 2-1, 1-0. We can use it on conventional, FHA, VA, jumbo, bank statement, even for correspondent. Every single one of these programs has their parameter. I think there's a lot of opportunity in everybody's backyard to get these. 2025 going to be one of the biggest purchase years ever that we see. Let's capitalize on it. Let's give Andrew Kuhn a round of applause, please. All right. I also have the pleasure of presenting a Dominate Award winner from one of our Success Track attendees. I picked this gentleman because he's hardworking, right? He's kind to others. He's got an infectious, positive personality. On a business aspect, he's got a growth mindset where he's hiring loan officers. He ships them out to UWM to get better, to utilize Success Track. He runs towards technology, right? He early adopter, like we always talk about the successful LOs doing, gives us feedback on what's working, how to get better at that. All of last year, 2024, was Pro Elite 100. And I know in 2025, this gentleman has big goals for himself and his California team, and I'm very confident that he'll find what he focuses on. Help me give a warm round of applause to Joseph Dio, Hazoro Mortgage. Come on up here. Got him. Congratulations, buddy. Absolutely. There you go. You got to show it to the crowd. Let's go, Joe. That's it for me. 2 clap. Chad Osterhout.
Thanks, Hawk. I got the pleasure of sitting by Hockey for the last 3 months. Man, the passion that guy brings to his team, there's no reason he's not Division Manager of the Year, so congratulations. All right, so during the holiday season, I went to one of my favorite party stores, this place called A&B Liquor, okay? I pulled in there, and I'm a loyal person, you guys know that. I pull in there, and the parking lot's full. I'm like, this is crazy. I get in there. There's 50 people in this store. They're rummaging around the shelves, pulling bottles out, looking in the booze cabinet. They're moving chips. And I'm like, what is going on? I got to get out of here. So I get my stuff and I leave, okay? I get home later that night, and I get on social. I'm looking at Facebook, and then A&B's feed comes up. Then I see this. These 3 dudes, okay? They're all happy. I work with them every single day. So I send a text. What is going on over there? Why are you getting pictures with booze on social media? And they say, you don't even understand. I said, what do you mean? They said they do 12 days of giveaway where this company, they take these limited release bottles and hide them all over the store. Okay? I was like, that's pretty cool. And if you get one, you get a picture and you get to purchase it. I was like, whatever. Go on with my day. I get to work the next day. Andrew's sitting there, and he's like, you see what's going on your side of town? Andrew doesn't drink. Neither does his wife. He's like, I was talking to Ashley last night about what's going on at A&B Liquor. I want to go out there and try to get in a scavenger hunt to buy some of these bottles. So this guy doesn't even drink, wants to go out there and search for these bottles. So what did they do, right? I look at every liquor store the same. They sell pretty much the same stuff. They provide the same service. This company created a buzz and a sense of urgency and people to come in and see what they're doing differently. People from the west side of the town is driving all the way to the east side to go up there because they differentiated themselves. Then I think about us. Every person in this room and watching at home already is a differentiator because you're in wholesale. 70% of the market is done with retail. 47 days on average to close a purchase in retail. UWM 15 days or less, right? So if I were you, I'd be advertising how I'm different. I would put things like this up, okay? Clear to close in 3 days. Same day approval. Clear to close in 18 days. And then what would I do? I'd share it. I'd tag my partners. I'd tag my agents. I'd ask my friends to share it. I'd share it on my personal social media. What do you think the chances are that somebody that's not looking for a mortgage might see that and they hear their cousin, their aunt, their sister complaining about what's happening to them at Chase or a local bank or somebody trying to get a loan. And they say, hey, I'm not interested, but I saw this guy Nick posted that they're clear to close loan in 3 days. Maybe you want to call him. When you're good at something, you have to let people know that you're different. This is the first step. It's the easiest step. Share your AE stuff, use Brand 360, use all our tools and resources. But if you're sharing, I think you have a lot more opportunity if you use it. Same guy in the picture on the first slide that looked really excited about that bottle of bourbon, Paul, came to work last Thursday, and something was different about him. I looked at his face. He looked like a child on Christmas morning, okay? And I was like, what's going on with you? And I got to put this down so you see. He's like, big day for Paul, big day for Paul. I'm like, what's so big for Paul today that I don't know about? He's like, I pick up my golf clubs at lunch. And I looked out my window. I'm like, it's snowing. Like, what are we excited about? He's like, you don't understand. I'm not a golfer, so I don't. But he said, I went and got fitted for golf clubs, okay? I picked everything from the material of the club to the grip to the angle of the head to the bag, whatever. They're for me, only for me. And he even made a point to say if I gave him to Scout, he'd hate him because they're not for him, they're for me. Then I started thinking about it. Tall, short, thin, thick, different swings, whatever. Probably should have custom golf clubs, right? Or we can all buy the same, and we probably wouldn't be as good. Then I started thinking about consumers. Should every consumer have the same mortgage? Does a lot of people qualify for a 6.75% 30-year fixed conventional purchase? Probably. But should they get it? No, they should not. You should customize every single loan to individual needs. Some people care about closing costs. Some people care about interest rates. Some people care about LTV. Some people care about term. And if you understand all the flexibility and customization that we offer at UWM, you'll come to realize that there's no objection you can't overcome. Hey, I've already been in a mortgage for 18 months. I don't want to reset. Well, I can give you a 27-year or a 28-year. Which one do you prefer? Oh, the loan amount's too high. Oh, okay. Here, I'm going to put you in my track program, waive $4,000 in title fees. Do you want me to lower your loan amount, or do you want that $4,000 back in cash? Oh, I'll take it. Now, loan amount's not too high, right? Or, I want to be under a 6.75% interest rate. I can get you a 6.624 right now. We can lock you in today. Understanding the customization that you have at UWM should help you overcome every single objection. And if you don't understand it, get on a Zoom, spend time with your account executive today. I had a client tell me one time, he said, hey, if rates hit 5.875 in VA, I will write $100 million in VA jumbo. The rates weren't even close. So like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I kept it moving. 2.5 days, the rates dropped in one of those tranches we had this year, and 5.875 came on the rate sheet. And he wrote $152 million in VA jumbo in 2 days, okay? Is this an extreme example for the majority of people in here? Yeah, but I use it to catch your attention. I use it to make you understand, like Anthony talked about insights. I want you to think about, are you proactive or reactive? I would, if I was a loan officer, I would call every single client I closed in the last 24 months. And I would say something like this. Hey, Brian, I just want to reach out to let you know, Happy New Year, number one. But number two, I ran a mortgage analysis on your mortgage that I did with you, and you're in a great financial position based on the interest rate you have and where the market's at today. Unless your needs have changed since we last talked. Maybe you pick up a loan there, like Anthony was talking about, they might need cash or something. But no, they're the same. Okay, perfect. I also want to let you know I ran another analysis that said if rates hit 6.624, I can refinance you, save you $90 a month, skip 2 payments, that's $4,000, and give you another $4,000 back at close. So $8,000 in your pocket, save $90 a month. Is that something you'd want to do if the time happens? Of course they're going to say yes. All right, I'm going to put you on a list, but I want to let you know, like, the market's not there today. It could be there tomorrow. It could be there 6 months from now or a year from now. But understand, with the volatility in the market, it might only be there for a day or two. So if I call you, we got to lock it in and get it submitted to the lender same day. Do that 60 times, 100 times. Get your list ready. When the rates drop, make that call. What did you do? You did a call to action. You already got them to say, I want to do the loan, and you showed them that you're a mortgage advisor for life, right? So say the rates drop and you start calling. You write 50, 40. I don't care if it's 2. You wrote 2 more loans than you would have wrote by being proactive than reactive. The lot of problem we have in the mortgage industry is we just wait for the phone to ring. The people that are making loans happen today are the people that are proactive. They're making deals happen. They understand their pipeline, their book of business, and they take advantage of it every single day. Today for Dominate, this gentleman came over to one of my teams years back. And he's good. He was good, but he wasn't ever rising to the next level. Coached him. Did he make mistakes? Who doesn't? We all make mistakes when we're new, okay? But he took that feedback. He made corrections. He changed. And as a leader, one of the things that you realize is when someone starts coming up to you and says, hey, I got this account that wants to go correspondent. I want this account that needs a key account executive, whatever it might be. And they say, can I work with this person? This gentleman started going to huddles, talking in huddles, breaking bread with account executives, division leaders, and now he's one of the most requested correspondent advisors on the core team. Congratulations, Chris Kenny. Congratulations. That's it for me. 2 clap, Matt Ishbia.
Good stuff, buddy. Thanks, Chad. All right, hopefully everyone's got some stuff written down so far. We're 40 minutes in. We get out of here about 7 or 8 minutes. But you can't be up here in this room or watching at home without writing a couple things down, some ideas, some things that you will do differently to grow your business from this. One of the themes, and it wasn't planned to be a theme, but through my topics and then hearing Chad's topics and obviously even hearing John Hockey, is success is a choice. You get to choose, right? I talked about Property Radar, then they talked about, I think Anthony might have talked about insights, and then you hear Chad's talking about his plan. Like, if you call those, like right now, most loan officers are saying rates are too high for me to call my past clients. Or you can do what Chad just went through and say, I'm going to call all my past clients and tee them all up. And yeah, you might call 60 people, and maybe it only turns out that you write 2 more loans, but that's 2 more loans when that happens. And that might happen in 2 days or in 2 months or 9 months. Who knows what it'll be? I think it's going to be more on the early side. But I can't control it. But I can control if I call them today. I can control if I actually take action. I can control whether I run insights report and start going through the process. I can control whether I reach out to Property Radar or some lead source and figure out. I control those things. I don't control what the Fed does. I don't control what interest rates do. I don't control what the supply and demand for mortgage-backed securities are. I don't control the 10-year, but I control my actions that lead to success. And a lot of people are out there feel bad for themselves. I can't believe rates went up. We had that little refi boom. We thought it was going to be. And by the way, I still believe it's coming. But I don't know, and I don't control it, right? But I can control what I do every day, and that's hopefully what the theme that you can get today, or you can sit there and feel bad for yourself. And I know, say, I guess I wish the rates would be lower and I'd do more loans. Well, yep, a lot of things, right? A lot of things could be different if things that you can't control. You can't control it, but I can control my actions. Now, one of the things you can control is use your resources. I saw the email I showed you earlier. I always say, the worst thing in business is to have resources and not take advantage of them, right? Most people don't have access to resources. All of you do. AEs, you have access to so many resources at your fingertips. Are you taking advantage of them? One of your resources sits next to you every day. Another AE, your team leader. There's academy. There's trainings. There's all these things to get better. Now, it's just whether you do it. Do you drive home and call your buddy or your girlfriend or your boyfriend? Or do you rehearse how you would talk to a broker? Or do you follow up with someone, do you respond? What do you do to make yourself successful? LO, same thing. What resource? I talked about Success Track, but there's a lot of different trainings. There's a lot of different websites. We just talked about Property Radar or other websites. There's lots of different ways inside. You can decide if you use these resources. Most people in business have no resources, which means it's really, really hard to be great. You have the resources. It's still hard to be great. It's just not really, really hard. It's just hard. But you got to choose it. And that's the opportunity in front of us. So think about your resources and what you have in front of you to take advantage of it. And what are you not using? AEs. I'd list off what my top 5 resources are. That's why we talk about pro rankings. That's why I think about doing all the little things to make sure you're successful. You do these pro rankings, your success will follow. Same thing. What are you doing to be successful? Take advantage of your resources. Are you utilizing them? Or are you just kind of waiting for things to happen for you? Now, this is the first week. Last week was the first full week of January. And we talked about for about 2.5 months the plan on perfect days, perfect weeks. LOs, I've got so many LOs, and kudos to the LOs that have reached out to me on sending me their plan. Here's what my perfect day is, Matt. Here's what my perfect week as an LO is. Here's what my company, a lot of company owners have reached out to me and said, here's what we're doing with our company. What do you think? And it's been fantastic. I showed you what we're doing at UWM. All the nuances. And now is the first week we actually have the returns. And how many perfect days, perfect weeks, and hopefully perfect months will we have at UWM. And so I'm really excited and proud of the people on this list because this isn't, 2024 perfect weeks. That was a lot easier to accomplish. There's a lot of different workarounds. Now it's like, this is a grind. This is a grind. And so if you're not up here, it's okay. If you are up here, you should feel great about yourself. If you're not up here, you say, what's in my control? What can I do? I want these people, and it's a much smaller group now, which I love, and it's going to grow. And LOs, AEs, everyone can hold me accountable if this grows, and if not, that's on us because we're not putting in the effort. But we had 119 perfect weeks. I want these 119 people to stand up. Let's give them a loud round of applause. Great job, everybody. I was considering reading every name like we used to do when we were small, but you guys, 119 is still pretty darn good. This used to be 400 with the old way. And by the way, just so everyone knows in this room, when I first worked with the sales leaders to change the perfect week metrics and say what really drives success, similar to what we do with pro rankings for LOs, what really drives success at UWM, we reconfigured it. We said, hey, I want to make sure every call you're asking for business. Every call you're talking about a differentiator. Every call you're having an open-ended question, which, you know what? We weren't doing it. We weren't doing it. And the first week that we would have had, if I would have put this in place in October when we first changed the metrics, you know how many perfect weeks we'd have had? 0. Not one. Not one person would have accomplished this. So what you focus on, you find. People are now doing things differently. And this is driving business for these people. Now, partially we didn't tell them what mattered. We didn't tell them you got to do all 3 of these things on all calls. Partially we didn't say do 2 U-snaps. We just said do 1. Right? We did different things. Now we showed people what matters. And so when you show people what you think matters, they work towards it. And this has been building up. And so I'm really proud of my AEs. And at the same time, you'll say, well, Matt, my loans, my submissions are low this week. Yeah, a lot of people's submissions are low, but where would they be without the perfect week? Where would you be without the effort? The effort drives success. That's how we're going to continue to win. And so 119, great job to my AEs that are on there. I know, by the way, there's about another 80 that were off just by this much, literally. So, we almost had 200, right? And so I'm hoping we continue to work. Yeah, it might take more effort to have even less loans, right? That might happen. But you know what? If you don't have the effort, you have no chance. Just like at LOs, if you don't talk to real estate agents, I promise you they're not going to look you up and refer you a loan, right? Anyone ever get a lead that way? I looked you up in the yellow pages and called you, right? No, you got to call them. You got to show up. AEs, you got to do the same thing. You got to add value. No one's going to have, you're not going to have a quality call if nobody wants to pick up your phone call. That's on us. We can do even better. I'm really proud of this number. And then the last one is this, mindset. It changes everything. Your mindset and expectations of what you wanted and what you thought you were going to have versus what you have changes everything. You get to decide. Everything in your life is in front of you, your control, it's in your hands, whether you want it. Whether you want to be the complainer and say, Matt, you said rates were going to be lower. I would be doing more loans right now. I want to make more money. Like, I get it. Me too. I'm with all of you. But I've chosen to decide I'm going to win either way. And that's what today's about. Today's about choosing success either way. Your mindset. If you're going to be one of the people that's the naysayers, that's negative, and it's snowing outside, it's cold, rates are high, it's January, there's not as much purchase action right now. If you're one of those people, you might as well not be in this industry. You don't get to earn the next opportunity. You don't get to deserve the refis or the big purchase year that we're about to have. You don't get that. But it's coming. It's just if you decide to keep yourself positive and grind and wait for it, or you're going to sit there and say, oh, well, we're going to just have to wait and see. I don't have any control over this. You control your success. I control my success. It's there right now, but it's all here. It starts with you. This is not basketball. This is not football. You don't need to be 7 foot tall. You just have to have a mindset. You have to decide. If you have the wrong mindset, the wrong work ethic, the wrong attitude, the best part about that? You can change it right now. You can change it right now. I can change my mindset. I can't change my height, my athletic ability. I can't change that stuff overnight. But in 1 second, I can change my mindset and decide to be great. And it's on you, AEs, to be that leader for the LOs. LOs, your job to be leaders for consumers. And it's my job to help lead all of us together as a team. And we're going to have a great mindset and dominate today. Have a great day, everybody.